basically where I'm at right now is that women will lose, 40 to 50% of their hair before they even notice that it's gone, right?
Exactly. And that's a very dramatic amount. You remember like when you are in your early 20s, that huge amount of hair, and where did that go? And then when you start to realize, okay, you already lost 50% of it.
Yeah.
So the earlier you start like doing something on the prevention side as well, like being more proactive, because as you said, we are overstressed all the time. We're aging. There are a lot of factors. You can help the lifespan of your hair to be longer, and you don't feel that much of the hair loss, that 50% happening.
If there's one question I get in my community, it is, how can I prevent hair loss? Or what can I do if I've already started losing large amounts of hair? What causes it? What diet do I need to be on? What supplements do I need to take? And my answer is always, we need to look at your minerals. We need to make sure you're eating enough protein. We need to make sure that your diet isn't making you more stressed out than you already are, and manage your life stress. But there's a certain amount of hair loss that does happen when we are going through hormonal dips and changes and shifts and stress. And so this is something I've been deep diving into myself, as I will talk about in this episode. Started noticing my hair was thinning a bit this year. And I like to not consider myself a super vain person, but when my hairdresser told me I was getting a haircut earlier this year that my hair was significantly thinner, I did freak out just a little bit. So we're going to talk about all of that in this episode. And we're also going to talk about skin health. I learned quite a bit about skin health, what causes skin aging, and again, what we can do to prevent it. I'll be changing some things in my personal routine as well. If you are interested in anything that we talk about in this episode, there will be a link down in the show notes, and I have been given a discount code, Sarah K, if you want to check it out. Of course, no obligation to buy anything. Just listen with an open mind. If something like hair loss is on your mind, if it's something that's been troubling you, I hope that this episode gives you some good ideas and resources. Enjoy the episode. Welcome to the Evolving Wellness Podcast, where circadian biology and quantum biology meet nutrition, lifestyle, hormones, health, and everyday conversations. I'm your host, Sarah, board certified in applied quantum biology by the American Naturopathic Medical Board and certified in nutrition by the National Academy of Sports Medicine. This is just a quick little reminder that you'll never hear a guest on this podcast whose every stance I agree with. And that's the point. These are conversations and not consultations. The information shared here is for information and educational purposes only, and is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the guidance of a qualified, trusted professional for all of your personal health needs. If you want more of my content, including my free long-form articles with citations, free ebooks, membership group with more access to me and my circadian app that helps you integrate light into your life seamlessly, make sure to visit www.sarahkleinerwellness.com. Thank you so much for listening, and enjoy the podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm really excited about today's guest because before I hit record, I've been running a little experiment on my own for the last few months. So we'll talk about that. Welcome to the show. Excited to have you here.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm so excited for our conversation today.
Yeah. So let's just introduce my community to you, what you do, and we're going to talk about hair loss. If anyone's like, what are you talking about today? And I'm sure we'll have other conversations as well, but that's a big one. But just let's talk a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay. So I'm Alessandra Zonari. I'm from Brazil originally. I have been living for the past almost 9 years in San Francisco, California, where I'm a co-founder and I'm a chief science officer of OneSkin, this biotech skincare company that is developing products that target the root causes of skin aging.
And I've been using your skin products too. Well, let's talk a little bit maybe about, so we could start with hair loss and then we can go to the skincare, because I'm using both lines and I'm loving both of them. But the hair loss. So my story earlier this year, I think it was May, I was getting my hair cut and my hairdresser said, you have lost noticeable amount of hair. And my hair is, I'm not a super vain person, but my hair is kind of my trademark. I've always had really, really nice thick hair. And she's like, oh, don't worry. You're one of those people. It doesn't hurt you to lose a little. It's still kind of like, struck me. And I noticed I was noticing when I was brushing my hair, when I was like styling my hair, it was significantly thinner. And there's definitely hormonal things. I just turned 46 in June and dealing with those estrogen fluctuations and then a lot of stress going on, like a lot of people. And I think it was a podcast I saw of you and Dr. Estima about hair loss. And I was like, why not? Like, I'm going to get this stuff. I'm going to try it. And so I bought the hair serum. It was not sent to me. I bought this on my dime and started using it in May immediately. And noticeably thicker hair, I would say, by the end of July. My husband, and he's not one to compliment something that doesn't exist, for better or for worse, but he was walking behind me about a month ago and he was like, wow, your hair is coming back and it's noticeably thicker again. And so that's when I said, I think someone from OneSkin reached out to me at the same time. I'm like, yes. Yeah. Let's talk about this because this is a dramatic enough result. And it's a question I get all the time from my females of like, what can you do about hair loss besides diet, besides minerals, besides the self-care, all the things that you teach about, what can be done? And so let's talk a little bit about how the serum that you have developed is different than other things that are out there, how in the world it actually does work, because I can attest that it does.
Yes, of course. So as you state clearly for you, and this happens to to the majority of people because the natural process of aging, when we're aging, our hair becomes thinner and we start losing more hair with aging naturally. And this process, it's occurring to all of us. And the thing is we only start noticing when we start, as you start noticing, oh, I'm losing hair, my hair is thinning. The majority of time you already lost 50% of your hair. So and then you're dramatic impacted. Oh my God, I lost already so much hair. And now what can I do? We don't have yet that preventative care for hair loss that we have more already developed for skincare, for instance. Skincare, we start using it when we are younger and before they even you have wrinkles just to prevent those wrinkles. And with hair loss, this mentality of preventing hair loss has not been something very grounded to us. And then we face that moment that oh my God, where is all my hair? And lose being related with this thinning and with the hair loss that we experience with aging. And at OneSkin, we had developed a novel molecule, a novel peptide, specifically to target the accumulation of these kind of toxic cells that when they start to accumulate too much, they become toxic to the environment of the skin or scalp. And we first developed a line of skincare products, and then lately we extended this to the scalp to promote more hair growth. And we developed this serum that's powered by this OS1 peptide. That's the main difference. It's a novel molecule, it's a proprietary molecule that has this specific mechanism to reduce the inflammation that those damaged cells are secreting. And that allows the hair follicle to become healthier again and to regrow again, to get back to the stage of growth. And on our clinical study, what we saw and what we show is that after 3 months and then after 6 months of consistent use of the serum, you're able to see up to 40% improvement on hair thickness and hair density, which is very, very impressive. And you mentioned also about the stress. We've tested in the lab, in our lab, when you put hair follicle cells in contact with stress hormones, you induce more of those damaged cells on the hair follicle.
Oh,
So that's why over stress, you kind of like you trigger the formation of the senescent cells, and they kind of like make your hair start to thin and loose, and this peptide can act on that and can reverse that effect and promote the growth again.
wow. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
funny. Someone in my group last night posted, have you ever used an OS1 peptide for hair? Have you heard of this? Like, stay tuned. We had a podcast coming
Yes.
out on that. So the word is definitely traveling. And what you just said was, age related due to hormonal fluctuations. This is appropriate, but also women that are just under a lot of chronic stress. I mean, I have women in their
Yeah.
20s and 30s who just run in sympathetic dominance. Their cortisol levels just overall are a
Yeah.
lot higher than they need to be. And one of the downstream effects from just living in sympathetic dominance is the hair loss.
Yeah.
And that's definitely good for them to know, like, yes, there's a direct correlate with stress and hair loss. And yes, we need to work on nervous system regulation and supporting you through that stress, but this could be something to help to maybe stop with all of that hair
Yeah.
loss in the meantime, right?
And nowadays, like you mentioned, we're constantly over stress situations, right? Independently of our age. So this product is very good to be like also in this preventative side of like, even if you're not noticing, you may be already experiencing this hair loss, especially after 30s. And then you're not doing anything because it's a mild hair loss.
Yeah.
You're not feeling yet.
Yeah.
But if you start acting, preventing, you will have like better benefits than just waiting more 10, 15 years when you start realizing you already lost a good amount of hair. And then, of course, you can start regrowing, but the process is way longer.
So you said, and that's something I think you said on your podcast with Dr. Estima that got me, and that I was like, yes, that's basically where I'm at right now, is that women will lose, what is it, 40 to 50% of their hair before
Yeah.
they even notice that it's gone, right?
Exactly. And that's a very dramatic amount. You remember like when you are in your early 20s, that huge amount of hair and where did that go? And then when you start to realize, okay, you already lost 50% of it.
Yeah.
So the earlier you start like doing something on the prevention side as well, like being more proactive, because as you said, we are overstressed all the time. We're aging. There are a lot of factors. You can help the lifespan of your hair to be longer, and you don't feel that much of the hair loss, that 50% happening.
Yeah. 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 I would say that's just a continuing question in my group is, what can I do for hair loss? And up until now, it's always been, you can take some biotin. Let's make sure you have proper minerals on board. Let's make sure that you're eating enough carbohydrates, because I see a lot of women doing low carb keto diets and then initially having good results. But one of the downstream impact of that is the hair loss and the thyroid
Yeah.
issues. They come to me with losing clumps and clumps of hair. And I'm like, well, I can help you with this side, but now here's another tool. I think you still need to do all that stuff. Don't stay
Yeah.
in a lifestyle or eating a specific diet that is causing this problem, because then you're just kind of pouring water into a bucket that's got a hole in the bottom of it. But in the meantime, this can kind of help while you're shoring up the lifestyle pieces, right?
Yes, absolutely. And you said so well, the lifestyle is so important in this aging process and everything that's happening in our body. Just to the audience to be aware, because this is something that I only became aware when I started to dive into longevity science 10 years ago. But the aging process, how we will age, only 10 to 20% is determined by our genetics.
Really?
70 to 80% is our lifestyles. It's the choices that we have on our life that is determining like how we are aging, how we are feeling, how our body is healthier or is more prone to disease.
Mm-hmm.
So that idea that like, oh, I'm already, because my grandparents had cancer and I will have cancer, I have nothing to do, it's my fate. That's wrong. You
Yeah.
have ownership of this process and the lifestyle, the choices of food that you eat. If you take care of your body, exercising, the taking care of your sleep, these are the most important thing you can do to your health. And then you can search for products that can add on that and can bring more benefit. And as you said, these products will only really work if you're doing uh, all the rest. Otherwise, you said pretty well, like you're dumping water on a basket that has a hole, and you will not get the most benefit out of it.
Yeah. I feel like that's with any supplementation that people
Yeah,
add, or peptides are really big right now. And I know
yeah,
your system is a peptide based system, but peptides are super popular right
yeah,
now. And it's like, yeah, you can do the peptides, try the peptides, but they may not work if you're just going to continue doing all of the things that got you into this situation in the first place. You have to make a change
exactly.
all the way around. So that's an important conversation. So that it is a peptide technology that is it at play here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a proprietary, it's a novel peptide. So we started at OneSkin in 2016, and we were searching for a novel molecule that really targets these root causes of the aging process. Because what we were seeing on our research was that a lot of products for skin aging, when we tested on our models in our lab, where we grow human skin in the lab, they were not like really targeting aging on the skin. And some products would even be accelerating the markers of aging, which was shocking for us.
Yes.
So we screened over 900 peptides to find and validate this, what we call OS1 peptide. That is a peptide that can reduce the inflammation that these old cells secrete when they accumulate in our skin. So it's a completely novel peptide. It's patent. You find it only on our products from OneSkin. And we have published several scientific publications on the mechanism of this peptide and how it works. And we have been bringing this to the market since 2021 and creating these lines of products for your skin. And now this year we launched like the extension of the skin, the scalp, as important part to take care, and where we saw very huge benefits of using a molecule like ours to reverse and reduce the hair thinning and loss.
Yeah, I'm like after this airs because I've been trying to keep it a secret, and then I also just wanted to keep using it myself. But it's a significant from when I just first started using it in May, because my hairdresser is like my husband. She doesn't hold back. She'll just kind of tell you, even if it's not what you want to hear, she'll tell you. And when she said that, I was like, oh man. But I know from working with so many women of this age and older that it, just correct me if I'm wrong, women can start using the hair serum before they even notice any sort of hair loss, like as a preventative, like say in their mid 30s or even early 40s, because this didn't happen. It happens for every woman, I think, at a different age. For me, it was right at 6 that it was like, the month before I turned 46 when I noticed a significant difference. But a woman can start using this before that happens, correct, as preventative?
Yes, the earlier you start using and start preventing, the best for you. So although you only start really noticing at 46, this process has started before, it's a slow process. And that's the thing, because it's a slow process. When you start losing, you don't notice. The first 5% that you lose, you don't notice, but it's happening. So the earlier you can start to prevent, maybe you will get to the 46, 50, 55 and not feel that dramatic, like, oh my God, my hair, I lost 50%. You kind of like can help prevent that huge loss later on.
And does this work for men also, or is it just women?
It works for men as well. In our clinical study, we had male and female cohorts, and in both of them, we saw similar results of regrowth of hair and thickness of the hair. So it can work.
All right. Because my husband, he's, his dad was bald by the time he was my husband's age. And my husband's been doing everything possible to keep his hair, like everything. And he's seen my hair and he's like, would you please ask her today if I can use it?
Yes.
I'm going to
He
put him
can
on
use it. Yeah. When we get to the point that you're already bald and you already completely lost that hair,
Yeah.
it's harder to
Bring it back.
regrow it, and depending on the extension, and also because there are other factors beyond aging that can be occurring on that case.
Yeah.
So it's always good to talk to a doctor
Testosterone.
as well. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and see.
Yeah.
But
And
we've seen that the peptide can help independently on regrowth on men that are losing hair as well.
okay. And he just uses it like I do. So I use it. It's like my ritual now. Every morning I put it on, I kind of rub it in and then brush my hair. And then before bed, same. So men, same thing, right?
Yeah, same thing. For best results, applying twice a day, it's ideal. For those that it's harder to get in this routine of doing something twice a day, at least before bed. The good thing as well of this product is that it's water-based, so it's very lightweight
Yeah.
and
It doesn't
it
make your, because I
absorbs
use it
super
this
nice.
morning. Yeah.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
not leave your hair greasy with that
No.
feeling that you need to wash immediately or anything. So it's easy to incorporate on your routine, because a lot of other serums in the market, the feeling on your hair is so bad that either you need to wash it or you
Yeah.
cannot sustain using several days without washing your hair. So
Yeah.
this one, we were very mindful about this problem to develop a formula that's water-based that will not let your hair greasy.
Yeah, I wash my hair once a week because I mean there's so much of it, and I just dread I dread having to blow it dry, and then
Yeah.
it's just a pain in the butt. And so that's one thing I love about the serum is that I wash my hair and then I can put the serum on there. It doesn't make it greasy. This is hair washing. I think I washed it on Sunday, and today's Thursday, and
Wow. Your
I've
hair
been
is so
using.
beautiful.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you. Like I said, I'm like, I've got to, I've got to protect it. I didn't
Yeah.
get good teeth. I did.
No,
I
you're
didn't.
gorgeous all over. Okay, don't say that.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you. I have I have my imperfections. I don't have great genes for metabolism. I've had to work really hard to get to where I am. It doesn't just come naturally for me,
Yeah.
but the hair is something I always had naturally, like regardless. So I'm like, I can't lose. It's as vain as it sounds. I mean, I think that my female listeners and probably some of the men too will understand feeling that way. It's like, no, just don't take my hair, please.
Yes, exactly. No, and it's an important part of like our self-esteem and how we see like the hair molds us. It is important.
Yeah.
It's not vain, and taking care of it and being more aware of it is self-care, and it's very healthy, and it's good for us in all ways.
Yep. Yeah. And I think secondary to that is your skin also, because that's something I definitely noticed a difference in the last year of like, okay, had a photo shoot in July, and I was like, oh, there's some lines and wrinkles there and things that weren't there. And there's a certain amount of that I'm like, yeah, I'm aging. I've earned those smile lines. I've earned that.
Yeah.
But maybe just using beef tallow on my skin and vitamin C serum, why not try something else? And so you guys did send me the eye cream and the face cream. I haven't started using the skin cream yet, but I've seen some awesome testimonials on that and like getting rid of dark spots for people. So I haven't tried that one yet, but I have definitely noticed, and it's part of my ritual now too. Like I love my hair, my skin ritual in the morning and then before I go to bed. And I definitely have noticed because I was really starting to see more aging like around my mouth, and I was getting like self-conscious about that. For some reason, the eye ring, the smile lines and I'm like, fine, I've lived some life. I've laughed, I've cried, I've expressed myself, but to have the wrinkle around the mouth, I'm like, oh, I don't love. And I've definitely, and I know you guys, I think are coming out with something for the mouth, but I've been using the eye cream on that area.
Yeah, that's a good trick.
And my husband and then too, he's like, oh, what have you been doing to your face? Like, did you go, he even asked me, he's like, did you go get some filler or injections or something? I'm like, nope. It's just trying out the OneSkin.
Yeah, one thing for us that has been very important since the beginning is to deal with our skin not only through this lens of cosmetic, like as you said, we can have some fine lines that are results of how we express ourselves, but one important aspect is that the skin is not only this beauty canvas, it's an important organ that has an important function of
Yeah.
protecting your inner body.
Yeah.
So it creates this barrier of protection for your body. And when we are aging and this skin starts to deteriorate and become thinner and more
Mhm.
fragile, you start having consequences on your life quality as well that goes beyond just the wrinkle appearance.
Yeah.
So this product, the OS1 peptide specifically, what it's doing, it's reducing what's accelerating this aging process on the skin, so your skin can continue behaving more as a young and functioning as a younger skin. And that allows to have a very good benefit. That's the overall look of your skin. It's better. But most important is that the organ is functioning on a healthy state so it can do this protection to your body.
Hmm. And that's one thing you mentioned in a lot of the studies or trials that you guys did, that you actually saw some of the anti-aging products had a negative benefit on skin health and on skin aging. Can we talk about that a little bit? Because that might shock some
Yeah, yeah.
people.
So when we started OneSkin, we started testing products that are in the market, and we were looking specifically to those biomarkers that indicate if the aging process is accelerated or not.
Mhm.
And it was shocking for us to see that some products were kind of inducing more of inflammation on your skin and inducing the appearance of more of those senescent cells, those damaged cells on the skin. So basically doing the opposite of what you would think an anti-aging is doing. And a lot of products would just stand on top of your skin and not do anything. They're being called anti-aging products, but they are very inert. So that also encouraged us for looking for something novel, and we saw the opportunity there that to find a molecule and start doing research on root causes of aging process on the skin. And what we have been seeing, although it's not completely, a lot of people haven't heard about those senescent cells, but it's becoming way more mainstream now. And there is even more skincare companies looking to the skin aging, looking to those type of cells. And that's very nice to see, because when we started, no one were looking into that. And we see this movement on the industry to be like less about only cosmetic, but
Mhm.
really thinking about the skin health. Like the
Yeah.
skin, it's an organ. It needs to have a strong skin barrier. It needs to be this healthy environment. So that's very interesting and nice to be seeing happening right now.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the peptides, correct me if I'm wrong, is it kind of signals to the skin to maybe make more collagen, or how does that actually work versus something, that you would buy that's a typical anti-aging product?
Yeah. So peptides, as you said, they are molecules that can communicate to your body to behave in a certain way. So there are peptides that can help telling your body to produce more collagen, for example. Our peptide specifically, when it gets into the skin cells, it tells the cells to reduce the excess of inflammation that's being secreted, and helps the cell to have more repair pathways, or repair programs, so avoid them to become damaged.
Mm.
When the peptides signal that to the skin to reduce inflammation and improve repair, you get a better environment, and naturally the skin starts then to produce more collagen and a strong skin barrier, because
Mm.
what was causing dysfunction in the tissue has been solved and is being reduced and is being controlled. So now the tissue is able to the skin produce more collagen, a stronger skin barrier, and what you perceive is a firm skin, more even skin tone, a skin that's more resilient and stronger.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I guess something like microneedling, they say it kind of can do the same thing. What would be the difference with, I know it's like a totally different mechanism, but I've heard people talk about microneedling and how it's a stressor that basically signals your skin to make more collagen. This would
Yeah.
be definitely a safer way to approach that, or what would be the main differences between those two?
So the microneedling, when you're causing that small wounds on your skin, as you said, it gives a repair signal to the skin to uh, bring more collagen to that area to fix that small wounds that were caused by the microneedling. And the effect of that is that you see also some benefits on your skin. The difference to our peptide is that on the microneedling, even though you are signaling the cells to repair, is not specifically repairing aged cells that accumulated on the skin. They will
Okay.
still be there. So over time, they will still secrete inflammation, and you can see that effect being reversed. Our peptide is really going to that root. And the interesting thing is that can be used combined with other approaches to enhance even the benefits on your skin.
Mm,
Because what it's doing is so specific and going right on the roots that it's complementary to a microneedling, is complementary even like to Botox for those that like to the effect of Botox. Botox makes you look younger, but because it's paralyzing your muscles,
right.
right? But it's not your organ, like the skin is not functioning or behaving as a younger skin or
No.
stronger skin. So it can pairs really well with those kinds of procedures because of this specific mechanism that's different.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I'm like, I know people, they choose to kind of go that route, and I'm all about someone should do what makes them feel most comfortable, and if that makes them feel confident and good, go ahead. For me, I'm just like, I've seen downsides of it,
Yeah.
and I don't know. For me, that's the right decision. So I'm always, and I know a lot of my community's members are in that same line of thinking. So I'm always looking for an alternative to those things. So
Yeah.
it has a different mechanism with actually improving the health of the skin, right?
Yes, exactly. So
And those are
that's
more
the
like
benefit of,
cosmetic.
yeah, it's beyond the cosmetic. It's improving the health of your skin, can be associated or not with other procedures. And the importance is that to think about your skin, not only to look better, but as an organ that needs to be functioning healthier and stronger. So that's
Mhm.
what our molecule is mainly doing.
Yeah. I love that. And the brown spots on the skin, kind of the age spots, I think it was, I've been following her forever. She's so inspirational. I think Train with Joan is her name
Oh,
over on
yes.
Instagram. And she just blew me away with a recent testimonial because she had some pretty bad spots on her arm. She's, I think, in her 70s, maybe. Um, and
We're
she got,
big fans of her as well. It's so funny because when we started today, we launched our first product. She was always like a reference of like how we want to look at 70, like how we want to feel and how we want to be empowered by the aging process and not be fearing aging. So I always followed her for a long time.
me
And
too.
we were able now to collaborate and send her products. And she started using, similar to you, use first before, see the benefits before telling. And the aging spots, they are also accumulating because when your skin is getting older and you have more of those damaged cells that secrete inflammation, it causes dysfunction on your skin, and it causes dysfunction on the melanocytes, that are the cells that produce melanin, and you start seeing more of those aged spots. So when you clear what's causing that dysfunction in the skin, you help clearing the root problem, and the skin becomes healthier and that problem goes away. So we do see a lot of benefits on aged spots being reduced with the consistent use of our products. And our the body lotion gives a lot of that soothing benefit as well when you have like crepey skin. We ran a clinical study and we saw improvement on the firmness of the skin of very like aged skin. So this clinical study for the body, we ran in participants that are 60 years and above. So people that already have a thin skin, and we could see that we improved the thickness of that skin and the firmness, the hydration. And the most interesting data from that study on the body was that we collected the blood of the participants at baseline and after 3 weeks. And we compared with a group that was using just a moisturizer without peptide. And what we saw is that the skin from the group that used our body lotion got stronger, more resilient, more firm, and the levels of inflammation in the body were also reduced.
Oh.
And this is so interesting. Now we connect with longevity because it's what I said, when we're getting older and the skin gets fragile and more thin and you have more infection happening on your skin, you kind of load your body with more inflammation. And when you restore the health of your skin, you can help restoring inner health and reducing inflammation on your overall health.
Fascinating. I think a lot of people don't think about it that way, of things getting into your body through that skin barrier. I mean, they do, but not to this level of, it's fascinating. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, exactly. It's a completely fascinated, and we don't have that perception of the skin on that way yet. So that's why we also want to bring that more awareness of the importance of this organ that's the skin to maintain healthier, because it can help your overall health through time. So it's really a shift of like beauty to longevity.
Yeah. So does the skin, because now I have an unopened bottle of that cream. Does it help with prevention the same way that the hair does? So if someone in their mid 40s wants to maybe prevent the thinning skin, the crepey skin, could they start using it now and start seeing benefits now?
Yeah, similar to the hair loss, preventing is always like the best approach. So, instead of waiting to the skin to be thinner to a point that, oh my God, now it's even bruising, it's crepey. The earlier you start, you avoid to get to that stage of crepiness and excess of thinning of the skin. So it's very good for prevention.
Okay. I'm going to I know what I'm doing after this. Because, I mean, anything we can do to, again, make a woman feel more comfortable and more confident without, I like the least harmful interventions and the least risky things for people, because there are procedures that you can get that are very pricey. I know microneedling, some people love it, and the laser. And then I've also seen the horror stories of people getting those procedures and getting permanent scarring on their face and never healing from those procedures. So I know you got to find a good person to do those, but you kind of never know how you're going to react to those things. Same thing with Botox. I've seen people get facial paralysis and horrible life-altering problems from Botox, and same thing with filler. So I'm just like, what can we do that is a low-risk intervention for someone? It's always diet, light, sunlight, nutrition, hydration. But this, seems that it could also be in with that for helping. And like I said, Joan is in her 70s, and she had some pretty dark bruises on her arm. That video she posted, I think it was just a couple days ago. So it's pretty dramatic what that did to those pretty dark bruise spots on her arms.
Yeah, I was so happy to see that result on her because I'm a huge fan of her. Yeah. And we like her. She's just one case. We have several testimonials. We have data from clinical studies showing that type of results on the skin in the body.
I love it. Yes. So you've got, just to go over, we've got the hair serum, you have a facial cream. What's the difference between the facial cream and the eye cream? Because I've been using the eye cream beside my eyes, and then above the lip also. And I've noticed a big difference, especially above the lip. And I know someone told me that you were going to have a lip cream coming out soon.
Yes, it's coming in October.
Okay.
A lip treatment, and the results also, like for the lines around the mouth, they are very impressive, because we neglect a lot our lips. We take care of our face, and the same way we neglect a lot the scalp, and we only start taking care when you're already losing a lot of hair. The lips, during the early days, we apply sunscreen on the face. We don't apply on the lips. We don't apply anything to help keeping the health of the lips, and the skin in the lips is very thin and more susceptible to damage than the rest of the face.
Yeah.
So there is this product is coming up. We can discuss a little bit more on another episode. But you asked me about the difference of the face and the eye. So when we developed the face cream, that formula, it's a formula that you can use. It's safe to use around the eye. Okay. But the research started to show, there was a study that came out that measured the amount of damage and the biological age of the skin around the eye compared to the rest of the face. And the skin around the eye is way thinner than the rest of the face, and it ages faster. The biological age of the skin around the eye is 20 to 30 years older than the rest of your face. That's why a lot of times they find that the crow's feet they show up first, like around the eye, then in other areas in the forehead, because there is this acceleration of the aging process on the skin around the eye. So when we saw that information, we started to develop the cream that would have a higher concentration of the peptide to deliver more peptide to this area that it's accumulating more damage. So that's why we have this eye cream that's a more potent, and also because the skin around the eye faces dark circles, has some other things going on, so that the composition of that cream is a little bit different, to be more specific to the skin around the eye. And we did all the testing, because when we are validating our products, we test on the human skin in the lab, and we use eyelid skin from blepharoplastic surgery to validate this eye cream versus the face cream. And what we see is that the face cream, you can get benefits on the skin around your eyes, but the eye cream is more potent. So what we usually recommend is, if you are already experiencing more signs of aging around your eye, you can use the eye cream, will be very potent for that. If you are still on early ages, on your late 20s, beginning of 30s, and you are very on more preventative, the face cream can be enough for the early days. But as you start to see more the visible signs of aging, the eye cream is better. It's more potent.
Okay. That's helpful to know.
Yeah.
And I think another question I get is melasma and dark spots. Does your cream help with that at all? Or is that kind of something different that people need to look at?
Yeah, so the melasma, there are other underlying causes of the melasma. So the cream can work controlling a little bit, because when your skin is healthier, it just becomes less reactive. But it's not a treatment for melasma. You need really, melasma is very triggered by sun exposure, so it needs to have extra care there. It's a little bit hormonal as well. Yeah. So there are other things. It's not a treatment for melasma, but you can see some improvements. The same way rosacea is something that triggers a lot of inflammation on your skin. And because our peptide reduces inflammation, you can see benefits, but it's not a treatment for any of those diseases.
Yeah, I feel like those are coming from inside, and people will experience. I know for myself, I got melasma when I was pregnant, just on the side of my face, because of those, again, fluctuating estrogen levels and hormones and all of it. And then I was able to get rid of it after birth through pretty much just using hydrogen inhalation, minerals, like just the basic stuff, got rid of it because it wasn't a super severe case. But I know people that start getting melasma in perimenopause, and they're desperate to get answers. And so I think for those people, it's important to know there's something going on at the level of the mitochondria. There's reactive oxygen species. There's some sort of inflammation that has to be dealt with. And a cream, because I see melasma creams on my Instagram feed all the time, won't necessarily treat that root cause, right?
Yeah. And a lot of times, as you said, we need to fix something deeper. And a lot of times, even like changing the diet, making sure that the other things are going well, that you're having like the best nutrition, that you're giving your body what your body needs. It's important to start tackling those conditions. Yeah.
And the rosacea, I think a lot of that can be the gut, something going on in the gut that needs to be looked at also. And it's the way our dermatology is set up, like kids that get eczema, you're typically not going to fix the eczema with creams. Same thing with rosacea. It's not something that you can fix with a cream. You have to go deeper and say, why is the body doing this? What's going on in the gut? What's going on with the immune system? How can I look at it from that angle? And it's not always a straightforward answer, right?
Yeah, we need to understand that things are more holistic. Like our body is not segmented like skin, gut, brain, as independent boxes. They are all connected. So all the things, like you need to look to your overall health. You need to make choices that are good for your overall health, and you will see benefits on all the other segments. And then you'll find the right products that will be adding to that lifestyle than just trying to find solutions here to that eczema on the skin without thinking of what you're eating and the stress control and all the other things as well.
Yeah. If we really want to fix our health, we have to go deeper than just, the surface. But what I like about these products is that it's, like I said, it's a low risk intervention. And it's something that can be added to a program where there's already a lot of good foundations in place, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a very good piece to add to that strong foundation. And then the benefits, they're just better when you're doing like all the work together.
Yeah. I love it. So you guys have a patent on this technology, because I know that there will probably be, I know there's like a copper peptide skin company that's out there. What's the difference between, I know it's two different peptides, obviously, but I've seen a lot of the copper peptide products out there and people swear by them. How is this different than that? Like, how does it act differently on the skin?
Yeah, the main difference, the copper peptide delivers copper that's important in several mechanisms of the skin to produce collagen, to produce for healing. The difference from ours, as I said, like ours is it's targeting one specific thing, that is the accumulation of these damaged cells. So it's different mechanism. They can even be used together. If some person wants to add other peptides to their skin, can be used together. But the mechanism that they are targeting on the skin, they're different. So that's what differs them.
Okay, great. Well, is there anything I didn't ask you that you hear a lot from people, a lot from customers, that you think that my community would need to know or be interested in knowing that we didn't talk about?
I think we touched base a lot in this conversation. It was great. One thing, all our products, they are safe for sensitive skin. So we're very careful when we're selecting the ingredients to each of the products. We test ingredients from different vendors in our lab to make sure we are selecting the best vendor. And the process to get to that final formula is a very rigorous process in our lab that then goes to validation on beta testers and then clinical studies until it gets to the market. And all our products, they're certified to be safe for sensitive skin, which is something that's very important for us as well.
That's helpful. Yeah, I know it's hard sometimes to recommend products that everyone can benefit from, because you'll always have that, odd person out that might have some sort of a reaction from a product that's totally benign. And my skin's pretty sensitive. I'm pretty fair. So some products I'm like, oh, I can't, it really just makes me feel worse and more inflamed and itchy. Yeah. So there's always that caveat for people. If you have super sensitive skin, this product is formulated for that, but we can't always guarantee everybody, having the perfect reaction, right?
Yeah. Because always, we do tests. We run specific studies where you enroll 50, 100 people with sensitive skin to make sure, but each individual is an individual. So we always need, the best thing is to learn our body, to test things and see how our own body is reacting. There's not a one formula fit all.
Yeah, agree. Well, I love that. And we have a discount code for anybody who wants to try out the products that'll be down in the show notes. So check them out. I think my code is Sarah K, and you can use that to get a discount off the products and try them out and let me know. I'm excited to share this with especially my ladies who continue asking me about hair loss and other things they can do, because I've tested this and it actually has been great. And now I'm about to get my husband on it too.
Awesome. Now the secret is out there, and your friends can also experience that. We are very happy. Like if anyone has questions or want to share any experience, we love to hear from our customers. Follow us on Instagram or contact us through our customer service. We love to hear more about our customers as well.
Amazing. Well, I'll have all the information down in the show notes so you guys can check it out. And thank you so much for being here today and chatting with me.
Thank you, Sarah. That was wonderful.
Yeah.